Hello everyone, this is a new YouTube channel, stock review, where I'll be giving some brief reviews of popular stocks being talked about. Today I want to talk about the Robinhood IPO that is happening this week, whether or not I see any value in investing, either short term or long term. I'll talk about some of the pros and cons with Robinhood stock, since I know, especially in the retail section, there are many negatives that go along with Robinhood stock, but I'm going to see if there's anything worth buying here. So first up, I want to talk about some of the pros. Of course, Robinhood was one of the first commission-free investing apps. So many retail traders like myself had their first experience investing with the Robinhood platform. Of course, you see there the advertisement investing for everyone. Whether you like them or not, they did take down a lot of the barriers that were up to stop people from investing. Before commission-free trading, you would have to pay a small fee every single time you made a trade. And for people who only wanted to invest $50, $100 at a time, it really wasn't worth it because you would lose maybe 5 or 10% of your investment every single time you tried to buy a stock. So there were some barriers there until Robinhood came, and they were one of the first, of course, to offer commission-free trading. So they do have a strong fan base for many of those who were not involved with GameStop and AMC. Also, if you're looking on the revenue side, if you're, maybe a more seasoned investor and you want to look at some of their financials, well, Robinhood has grown their revenue year over year. First up in 2015, only 2.9 million to 9.3, all the way now looking to about the present time, 2020, 959 million, and I'm sure that's going to be exceeded this year in 2021. So even on the technical side, on the financial side, Robinhood has continued to grow revenues and has continued to grow their user base, even with some of the controversy from earlier this year. Now, another thing to think about, most of their revenue comes from payment for order flow, which recently has gotten some negative attention. I know there are a lot of people kind of upset with this because they didn't know it was happening. So, anytime you make a trade on most platforms now that offer commission free trading, they take a small amount, and it's almost like with credit card transactions where there's a small fee for the transaction to happen. It's very small. You really don't even notice it. But of course, with millions and millions of users, it does add up to quite a bit of money. So for Robinhood specifically, they use payment for order flow as opposed to commission trading. So for me, I don't necessarily see payment for order flow as that bad of a system. I know there are some negative comments thrown around with it, but when you think of the alternative being, having to pay 5, 10, $20 every time you make a trade, it adds up, and that hurts more the individual, I think, and I think it hurts more the retail traders who want to invest. Maybe you put in $100 every time you get paid, or 200, and instead, you're having 5 or 10% of your investment eaten up every time you want to make a trade. Um, and that, that's only counting one trade, whether you want to sell a stock and buy into another. Having the payment for order flow and the commission free trading is a system that is more friendly for retail investors. So I think they definitely know their audience. Their user base is growing. Even those people who left during GME and AMC, um, a lot of people still have their Robinhood accounts and still use them. Now, I transitioned from Robinhood to Webull last year before the GameStop and AMC situation because I just thought it offers more. It definitely, Robinhood is a very bare bones application. Now, if you're barely starting out, I think it's perfect and great. Keeps everything very simple for you. But if you're wanting to grow, I would definitely recommend Webull. That's what I use. It just has more tools, more options for you. But Robinhood does know their clientele. They know that they know the niche market that they're after, these young retail investors, people they want to introduce to the stock market. I did see also rumors that they're going to be adding retirement accounts as well. So, even people who have no interest in going very deep into investing, but maybe they're a little older and want to do it very passively, you can do that too. So I believe with Robinhood's position in the market, along with their revenue, I think there definitely are some positives here when looking at the Robinhood IPO. Now, on to some of the negatives. The biggest, of course, going to be retail sentiment with the GameStop and AMC situation that happened in January. So, for those of you who don't know, many people believe GameStop and AMC were on their way to a short squeeze. They were rallying to ridiculous numbers. At this time, I did own some AMC, so I was affected by this. So this is seen as a huge kind of black eye on Robinhood, where they kind of turn their back to, again, their clientele, the people that they appeal to the most, the retail traders. And a lot of people took this very negatively. A lot of people left the app because of it. But then at the same time, there are a lot of people who use Robinhood who didn't want to buy GameStop and AMC, who were not involved in those communities. So it is something to think about, just how large of a population uh, of traders actually make up those who were affected by Robinhood during this time. Now, something I think that is important to keep track of is that Robinhood wasn't the only broker to do this. So, we see in this article, Robinhood and Webull uh, were two of the brokers that halted the purchase of GameStop, along with AMC. So, even though a lot of this gets put on Robinhood, there were other brokers doing the same thing. And if you see in the second paragraph, other brokers also had some lesser restrictions, but still restrictions. Charles Schwab, TD Ameritrade had options restricted, or also putting restrictions on buying it using margin. So it wasn't just Robinhood that had this. Now it doesn't make it better and it doesn't excuse it. They were definitely the ones that seemed to be spearheading it. They were the ones who acted first. Now, will this affect the stock long term? If we're thinking out to 4 or 5 years from now, let's say GameStop and AMC go through their squeezes, they're done. The Reddit community, the ape community moves on to a different stock, and Robinhood doesn't repeat the same mistake, or if they do, all the other brokers do it too. I don't think this will stay with Robinhood moving forward for that long. It may affect their IPO and it may affect them throughout this year, but I think in the future they're going to be able to move past this. They're going to be able to continue growing their base and providing the same type of product that they've gotten very good at providing now. Now, thinking about how I plan to trade the Robinhood IPO, I want to take a look at two different IPOs that have happened recently. The first being Coinbase. So if you'll see here, Coinbase on the first day of their IPO, you'll see on the very far left a pretty big green candle, and you'll see at the very top, Coinbase on their IPO spiked at around $429 before crashing down pretty hard. And you see over the next couple days until it finally bottomed out at 276. So this is definitely something that is not uncommon with IPOs. They spike very hard on the first day or the first week, and then they crash and pull back very hard before stabilizing and kind of holding their ground. So I expect nothing different from Robinhood. I believe the share price is going to be around $30. I expect a spike in the first day or the first week or so. Maybe it hits 40, maybe 45, and then followed by a pullback. And maybe we get down to 25, maybe we get to 27. If we see here, Coinbase fell below its IPO price, and this was before the crash in the crypto market, and it definitely hasn't helped it. But even after Bitcoin and Ethereum crashing so hard, Coinbase has still stabilized and is still around the 300 mark. So if you are looking to play Robinhood on its IPO day, I would say, wait for the first pullback. It's going to feel like you're missing out. You're going to miss out on the first maybe big rally, but that price usually never holds. And even to this point for Coinbase, they still have not hit that high that they hit on their IPO date. So it is something to think about. This is not something that is unique to Coinbase either. If we see here, this was the Snowflake IPO, and it did something very similar. This one actually took about a week to spike though. So it had very good momentum for a few days. Again, hit a little over $400. This one pulled back all the way to 184 before stabilizing now in the about mid or high 200s. So again, still has not hit that initial spike price, but if you wait for the pullback, if you wait for that initial dip, you can find a pretty good return on it and a very good position to hold long term. So as far as Robinhood's IPO price, I would say again, wait for the initial pullback, get in, and then I plan to hold very long term. So I will be looking for the initial dip on the Robinhood price. Robinhood is also offering to Robinhood users some shares at the IPO price. So you don't have to worry about being too late for that spike if you did want to get in early. But just a word of caution, many times with these IPOs, that first initial dip or spike usually goes below the IPO price. So even if you may be getting in early with the Robinhood app, maybe be getting it around that $30 range, just beware that if we've seen with IPOs in the past, they can drop below that, and they usually do. So again, if you were to play the Robinhood IPO, I'd say wait for the dip, hold it long term. There's definitely going to be some volatility in the beginning, but I do think Robinhood is a good buy. Whether you like them as a broker or not, as a business, I think there is some long-term value here. So again, this is a new channel. I'll be going over different stocks, usually some of those that are trending or more popular. I'll review them, talk about some of the pros, cons, what I think about it, and if I plan to take a position on it. So please like, comment, subscribe, and let me know if you are bullish or bearish on Robinhood and its IPO, or if you plan to just avoid it completely.